All right, guys, so we're going to make a quick video talking about the cars that are getting the NACS port. So Tesla has opened their NACS port for everyone to use, and apparently Rivian, Ford, GM, and I think Volvo now have the NACS port, but today Polestar allowed the NACS port to join the cars. So the NACS port is the Tesla port. So now all EVs are planning to get the NACS port with the cars. The fact that Polestar is getting the NACS port is actually pretty interesting because Polestar is the biggest competition to the Model 3 when it comes to design, size, practicality, and the fact that it's getting the NACS port, it can take a lot of Model 3 sales, especially with the new design of the Polestar. So in 2024, Polestar is going to come out with a new redesign of the cars. Apparently Tesla is also going to come out with a redesign of the Model 3. So that's going to be big competition for those two cars. So both of them are going to get redesigns. Both of them are going to get the NACS port. So it's going to be a big competition for the Model 3 in the upcoming years. All cars that are going to get the NACS port, like Ford, GM, Volvo, etc., they're going to get it in 2025. Up until 2025, they're still going to have the CCS port, and we're going to be using adapters for those cars. But after 2025, all those cars are going to have that port natively, just like the Tesla. Again, so this is not necessarily saying that the Polestar is automatically better than the Tesla Model 3 or the Y, but the fact that Volvo also has the EX30 that's going to start with a 35,000 USD price and is most likely also going to get the NACS port is kind of crazy. The fact that they're going to have a car that's actually cheaper than the Model Y, that has a lot of range, has the power, has the good tech, has the Google Automotive infotainment, has the automatic CarPlay, the new CarPlay 2.0 that's going to come out later this year. They're going to have all these different features, and not only that, they're also going to have access to the supercharger network. So it's going to be very tough to not get one of those cars. That was one of the things that pushed me away from Polestar, because I really wanted the Polestar 2. But one of the things that pushed me away from it is the fact that it has a CCS charger, CCS port, and the fact that it just didn't have, in the beginning, didn't have the tech that I really liked. But right now, with all the software updates, the Polestar has a lot of good tech. It's going to have the NACS port, and it's going to have a redesign. It's kind of tempting. Like, honestly, if you're looking for a car, you might want to hold off on getting anything that's not a Tesla and wait till 2025, because you might have a car that's better than the Tesla and also has access to the Tesla supercharger network. But one thing that we have to talk about is the fact that, yes, all these cars are going to have the NACS port, but the problem with the port is not necessarily the size of it, it's the location of the port. So as we know, the Tesla charging port is on the rear driver's side. So when you're driving into a supercharger, you want to reverse, and the charging cable is going to be coming from the left side all the way here. And the Tesla supercharger cable is only long enough to specifically reach this side of the car. But for other EVs, for example, the Ford Mustang Mach-E, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the charging port is on the front driver's side. And if you're reversing into a supercharger, you wouldn't be able to reach the cable all the way to the front. Even if you're driving forward to a supercharger, the cable will be able to reach the front passenger side and not the front driver side. So if these companies are making NACS ports for the cars, I would suggest that they change the charging port location. Another thing that he talked about with the announcement of the NACS port being available for everyone is that they're going to come out with an adapter for the existing CCS cars. But the problem with the adapter is that they haven't said that the adapter is going to be a cord extender for the superchargers. They just said it's going to be a regular adapter, same thing with the CCS adapter that the Tesla cars have. And in my opinion, I feel like the adapter should be a cable extender for the superchargers. So like that, you don't need to have someone that's going to go to a Tesla supercharger that has the CCS port taking up 2 spots, because the supercharger is only able to plug in when the port is on the rear driver's side. So if the port is anywhere but the rear driver's side or the front passenger side, they will not be able to charge like any regular Tesla, because they'll be taking up more spaces. For example, if I'm parking at a Tesla supercharger and my port is over here, the port that I would need to use would have to be on the right side and you plug in here. But since my charging port will be here, I would take someone else's supercharger stall and plug it in here. So like that, I can get the charge. So whoever would have to take the supercharger that's on the left side would not be able to park and use that one. And whoever would want to take the supercharger that's on the right side would not be able to use it because I'll be parked here and using that stall. All right, so just to wrap up the video, I'm very happy that all these companies are getting the NACS port, and I think there's going to be more to come. So far, we have GM, Ford, Rivian, Volvo, and Polestar. I think that the next one might be Toyota or Hyundai. But the issue with Hyundai, they have the 800-volt architecture for the batteries, so they're probably going to wait until the superchargers are updated to support 800 volts. But if we're talking about the companies that have already announced the NACS port coming to their cars in 2025, we need to get the charge port locations fixed, because if that's not fixed, then the whole charging experience is going to be bad for everyone. So CCS are not going to be reliable. The Tesla superchargers are going to be too busy because one person is taking up 2 stalls. So we have to make sure that that's fixed, because we don't want all charging networks to be bad for different reasons. So either we change the location for the charge port, or the adapter is actually a cable extender that allows for any type of EV to just park the way they need to and be able to still charge their cars. Because if we don't change that, we're going to be stuck with CCS charging equipment that's very bad for connectivity, has bad apps, the paying process is too long, and then we're going to have the Tesla supercharger network that's going to be filled with CCS cars that's taking up 2 stalls. The wait times are going to be long, and also the Tesla supercharger network is expensive, so it's going to be more expensive and more people are using it, and you're going to have less stalls available because one person is taking up more spaces. We need to fix that. Good thing that Volvo and Polestar do have the charge port location at the right place, so they don't have to do anything. As long as they get the adapter, even if it's not a cable extender, they'll be able to park at a supercharger and charge just like a Tesla does. But for Rivian, Ford, and GM, it's going to be something that they're going to have to fix and make sure that is corrected. I know that Silverado EV has the charge port location at the right place, but I'm thinking more towards the line of Chevy Bolt, for example. I don't think they have their port at the right location. And also the Chevy Bolts, they do charge slowly, 50 kilowatts max. So they are going to take some time if they do use the superchargers. But hopefully that the new future 2025 cars that are going to have the NACS plug, or port, I should say, inside the cars are going to be changing the locations of that port to fit the perfect supercharger ecosystem. But this is another thing I want to talk about. I mentioned this earlier. If I was buying an EV, especially a Polestar 2, I would wait at least till 2024, because in 2024, you're going to have the new redesign. And if you wait till 2025, you're going to have the new redesign and a new charge port. So if you're not in a rush to get an EV, 2025 look like it's the best time to buy an EV, because that's when everything is going to be updated. So it's going to be a perfect time to get a Polestar, or Rivian, a Ford in 2025. But between then, it looks like Tesla is the only car that's going to have the NACS port natively. And in 2024, there's going to be an adapter. So yeah, so that's pretty much my thoughts on it. I know I rambled a little bit, but yeah, if you're getting a Polestar, maybe you wait. If you're getting a Rivian, maybe you wait. If you're getting a Mustang Mach-E, definitely wait. But yeah, so thank you guys. See you guys on the next video. Peace.